What is up, y'all? It's your boy 2Natural. We're back with another video. This is going to be a Rivalsnomics video because we figured out what our next investment is going to be. Like I say as a preface to all these types of videos, like we saw with Myth crashed like 50% in after my last Rivalsnomics videos. You never know what's happening with Myth, so please don't take this as investment advice and understand that investing, especially in a freaking football mobile game, is in general a very stupid idea. With that being said, I have the best idea out of the stupid ideas on how I think you should be investing your Myth in NFL Rivals right now. And my theory, as you can see on the screen, is rares. So what I think is that the limited base cards challenge has been well received. So what I think is there's a good chance that they do a rares only event. Now, why rares and not commons or epics or legendaries? So the thing is, the point of the capped events is to make it accessible for everyone, even low or free to play players. So I think rare is enough where it's like cheap and it could encourage people to buy those cheap cards while also still like keeping it accessible to everyone and feeling like there's more parity in the game, I guess. Also, I would like to mention that these rares are good investments just in case a set eventually comes out. I think rares will be used in there. There'll be some kind of burn mechanism, but that might be a really long time down the road, so don't bank on that. Our main theory is just hoping that there's a rares only tournament in this promo or the next promo, which I think is somewhat likely. And in that case, all the competitive players are going to flock to buy cards. So I think we should buy them now while people aren't expecting that news. Keep in mind with rares on the mythical market, there is a small transaction fee. So the 13% normally there gets up to something really high like 34% or 50% even if you're selling it below, I think $5 or something, or 5 myth. I think it's below 10 myth, something like that. So that is going to be a factor in some of these cards. And there's also a lot of these rares, so it might not move their price as much as we think it will. Keep that in mind. But at the same time, a lot of these cards are under $5. Some of them are under $1. So I think they're still kind of a prudent investment. If you guys like the video at the end, please make sure to like and subscribe. So let's get right into it. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we had a little delay, but anyways, let's get right into it with my idea of the best rare defensive tackles. So we're going to take a quick look at defensive tackles. So we're going to put this on rare. We're going to put the position at D tackle. And now my recommendation for the best rare defensive tackle investment is Derek Nottie. So you'll see that he's at 103 power, level 1, and he goes for $2.22 right now. So I think this is good because he's the highest power rare defensive tackle in the game. And also there's less of his card. You can see there's only 9 items. So you can see how fast this price could go up. Because every competitive player is going to want this card if a rares only event comes into the game. Now, we're going to also look. I have an alternative investment for people who aren't comfortable putting $2 into that card, which honestly is fair. Hold up, let me turn the light on. I have bad lighting right now. Which honestly is very fair because there's a card for a third of the value that could also be useful for more budget players, which is this Mozzie Smith right here. The reason I'm saying this over Brian Greasy is because it's literally a 16-cent difference. So I would recommend this Mozzie because he's 1 power over the Brian Greasy, and he's basically going to be tied. Let's just say he's tied for the cheapest defensive tackle you could get to build a competitive rare or worse squad. Now let's move on to defensive end, and you'll see here I have Trey Hendrickson from the Rivals Rewind promo. So you'll see these other defensive ends are about 80 cents to $1. They're 95.96. So let's move up to Hendrickson. And the reason I'm only recommending Hendrickson, even though there's 2 defensive ends, is because you'll see he's only 13 cents more, 20 cents more. So this guy's a Rivals Rewind guy. But for the 20 cents more, you get an 8 power advantage. And of course, you're going to need 2, so you could scoop up one of these guys, I guess, for $1. But I think really for that 10-15 cents for an investment, picking the guy with 7, 8 more power is definitely worth the extra 10-15 cents risk reward wise. And then for cornerback, I have two recommendations. So my low budget recommendation is going to be this Jamel Dean, because you do need two cornerbacks on your team. So this Jamel Dean is going to be in high demand, especially from the more casual people. And then we're going to filter that out. This Deontay Banks is just kind of stuck in a weird spot in the middle, so I'm not recommending you pick this up because he's not the best and not the cheapest. So for the people that want two of the best corners, I guess Deontay Banks could still be fine. But I would rather buy this Christian Fulton. You'll see there's only 24, which makes it very likely for a supply shock if this rare event were to get announced. And he's $9, which sounds pretty expensive, but cornerbacks are typically one of the big difference makers on defense. So having the best rare corner will definitely be a game changer in that event. So that's Christian Fulton and Jamel Dean as a cheap alternative. And then let's look at linebacker. So on linebacker side, we're going to look, and so the linebacker I'm recommending is Kaiser White. Let me clear the program. And yes, Kaiser White is about $9. All of these are upgraded already, so it actually makes them almost a better bargain. These ones are already at level 9, but basically, yeah, so he's going to be a $9 card, but it's, again, a very scarce card, only 10 items in the game, and he's the best linebacker in the game to my knowledge. And then my alternative is going to be Frankie Louvu. Now, Frankie Louvu, I believe, is the, give me 1 second. Frankie Louvu, I believe, is the second highest overall linebacker in the rare category, and he's also the cheapest, so it makes sense because people are going to need to start this Louvu. People are definitely starting this Louvu in the Kaiser White in the best rare team. So since he's also the cheapest at the time, it makes a lot of sense to pick him up because they're going to need him to start unless something else comes out in the next promo. So we got 2 spots left. They're the safety spots, and what I'm going to recommend here is Jalen Pitter. Very cheap. $2 and a good strong safety, yeah. And then the only other strong safety other than the Pitter on the market is $100 plus, and there's 2 on the market. So I'm not even recommending that. The price is just too high. It doesn't really make sense for us to go with that over a guy who's literally $2 and is, what's the overall difference here? Is probably like I think this Javon Curse is actually worse. So yeah, buy the Pitter. This is actually one of the best investments because you're going to need him. He's the only strong safety other than that guy who literally is basically non-existent and is just a luxury collector's item. Now we look at free safety, and Rayshon Jenkins, again, makes the most sense. Only $565, which, again, sounds a little expensive for a rare card, but he's the best rare on the market. There are Rising Stars and Founders free safeties, Forrest and Thornhill, but they're not as high power, so why would you pay more for them over the cheaper Rayshon Jenkins that everyone is going to be rocking in this event? Now let's move on to the offensive side. So we're set. We're going to be selling the shovels, basically. We're going to be selling the defense to these competitive teams if they need it for the rare event to place in the top 50, top 100 to get those sweet packs. And now let's switch over to offense. And we're not doing a whole rundown because really, as you guys probably know, there's only a couple positions that matter on offense. And first of all is quarterback. You want to have a good passing game to get those bombs deep down the field. And obviously, the only rare QB is Tua. So obviously, we're going to need Tua. Not really much of a debate there, I guess. 102 power, but he's the only one at the position. So you literally need Tua to go even top 300, in my opinion. Second is going to be wide receiver, and now we're gonna there's a bunch of rare wide receivers from the draft, but I think you guys already know who we're going to be looking at, and that's obviously Zay Flowers, the fastest guy in the game, or the fastest rare wide receiver in the game. Sorry, I misspoke. But basically, yeah, you're going to be using Tua and throwing to Zay. Those are the only 2 passing game players you're going to need. And then for running back, we are also going to need a running back just for those 2-point conversions to make sure we do good and to run some time off the clock. So there's this Ramondre Stevenson. He's $1.60. Speed is 108. So honestly, this Ramondre is fine. If you want I actually had ETN here because I didn't check the rares before, which I Probably should have now that I think of it. But the other running back is Travis Etienne for $8 is a little better, 117. But honestly, I had Etienne down. Just pick up Ramondre. Ramondre will be fine for your 2 points as long as you're not stupid and have self-control on the 2-point conversions. Ramondre will convert everything for you, in my opinion, from what I think, I guess. If you're having issues, I mean, if you want the best team, it's going to be Travis, so you might be fine, but I think most people would just pick up the Ramondre because on offense, you don't need the best players. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the investment thesis is I think there will be a rares or worse coming soon, and I think by making these strategic investments, we'll be set up to sell to those competitive teams that need these new top rare players. All right, that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. And again, like and subscribe if you think this video is cool, if you're going to be using the tips from this video. And just if you want to support my content. Thank you guys so much again. 2Natural out.